All right.
All right.
All right. We got liftoff. We got liftoff.
We have liftoff. We
Cops
have
be hurting
liftoff.
on your ass, man. You know, they really degrade you. White folks don't believe that shit. Don't believe cops degrade. Oh, come on. Those beatings, those people are resisting arrest. I'm tired of this harassment of police officers. Because the police live in your neighborhood, see? And you be knowing them as Officer Timpson. Hello, Officer Timpson, going bowling tonight? Yes, nice pinto you have. Niggas don't know them like that. See, white folks get a ticket, they pull over. Hey, officer, yes, glad to be of help. Nigga got to be talking about, I am reaching into my pocket for my license. Because I don't want to be no motherfucking accident. Police degrade, I don't know, you know, it's often you wonder why a nigga don't go completely mad. You know, you do, you get your shit together, you work all week, right? And then you get dressed, you make, maybe say cat make $125, we get $80 if he lucky. Right, and he go out, get clean, be driving with his old lady, going out to a club, and police pull over. Get out of the car, that was a robbery, a nigga look just like you. All right, put your hands up, take your pants down, spread your cheeks. Now, what nigga feel like having fun after that? Oh, let's just go home, baby. You go home, beat your kids and shit. You gonna take that shit out on somebody.
Oh,
$25, we get $80 if he lucky.
Mm-hmm.
All right, put your hands up, take your pants down, spread your cheeks. Now, what nigga feel like having fun after that?
That's right. You're not going to want to have fun after that, man.
No. Especially after your cheeks have just been spread. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, I don't know. You know,
that's not fun, man. That's not fun. That's some hardcore shit.
No. If you're going to spread my cheeks, wait till after the club. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, here we are. Another episode of International Black. That's right, man.
What's up? It's your man, Pappa Jobe.
That's right, Ed
and the brother from another, Ed to Z.
That's right. Representing again.
That's right, always. Here we are.
Right. Great, the late, great Richard Pryor there, man.
Man, the legend, the comedic genius, the tortured soul. No, I just found out recently, like in the last couple months, just floating around the internet, and it was this one thing that it was like Richard Pryor was bisexual.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I had no idea that he was bisexual at all. But of course, in those days, I mean, especially in a lot of times in the black community, you know, it can be very homophobic. You know, that's why that whole spread your cheeks thing, that's a heavy hitter. You know, when cops do that, that was definitely a way to emasculate you.
You were saying before, just before we went online, just now, that you remember back in Philly getting stopped by the cops as a teenager, yeah?
It's like almost like what do you call it? A rite of passage, you know, as being an African American male. Is that first time you fit the description? You know, for me, I think I was maybe 12 years old, 11, 12 years old, and me and my family, mom, we moved to a different part of West Philadelphia. And one afternoon, you know, I'm walking, you know, just mind my business, just walking, you know, book bag and all that, you know, stuff. And all of a sudden, whoop, whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the
police.
And I'm like frozen. 'Cause even when you get the talk, you know, about how you're supposed to act around police, but you see what they do, you know, to other people. It's like a certain point. It's like when you're up until like, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9, you know, it's like cops and robbers, and you want to be the cops, but something happens in the black community around that, you know, 10 a day, and then you start realizing that maybe the robbers are the good guys. You just see so much bad from these cops. And so anyway,
it's incredible, yeah.
You know, so all of a sudden they pop out, and the thing about it is, in retrospect, I know they were just having a little bit of fun. But basically, I guess maybe get you scared young, so you keep that fear with you for the rest of your life. And be honest, it fucking works. You know, when cops, I'm like home and cops come around, you know, your heart starts pumping. But anyway,
it does, yeah.
You know, so they pop out. You know, get the fuck on the wall, put your hands on the wall. You're like, what? Put your fucking hands on the wall. You know, like,
yeah, straight in, aggressive.
Straight in. And I'm like, I got my hands, hands on the wall. You know, they fucking pat me down. And this is the thing. And like I said, like Richard said, what do? They get down, pat me down, and they squeeze my nuts, right? Which, I mean, at 12 years old, the only person that touched my nuts was myself. You know, frequently. You know, to have some grown ass man, squeeze them, hurt.
It wasn't as gentle.
No. Even though, between me and you and other 5 people, sometimes I like it rough, but not that rough, and not by Officer Timpson. That's fucking for sure. I'm sitting at this point. I'm just trying not to cry out loud, But
must have been very humiliating.
You start to feel that heat. It starts like in the back of your head, like behind your ears. It comes all the way up to your head, your brain, and you're just trying to. You're scared. You're angry.
A lot of people don't understand the stress of being black. It's literally it's a fucking killer sometimes, man. Just the whole stress of it all. Even if you're not directly involved, but just because you look like that person, it could be you.
And the thing is, who is that person that I look like? You know what I mean? It's that like that old joke. He's a black male between a height of 4 feet 11 and 6'3", between a weight of 110 and 250 pounds. He could have had a scar, maybe not. Maybe you always fit the fucking description. Is the problem? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's not. And a lot of times it's no fucking description. It's just an excuse, is what it is. When they talk about policing, they're not policing. They're controlling. They're overseeing. They're putting our little black nasty asses in our places. That's what they were doing. And
I wanted to ask you something. Have you heard about this George Floyd Police Act that they're trying to pass?
In what sense? You talk about with what's it called? I forget what the hell that have to do with what do you call it? The immunity with the police.
Well, apparently they're just trying to push through some legislation. It's going to make it, harder for police to get away with these crimes,
Yeah. Well, what is that? Oh my God! Somebody out there, please help me out. I know it's called something immunity, where the police basically have almost an inherent immunity just by doing their job. And I just cannot remember. It's doing my head in.
I think the whole idea is for them to sort of change the kind of culture of the police by saying it's not about using reasonable force, but the necessary force. Because reasonable is a kind of a relative term. You know what I mean? But what's necessary to stop a situation?
Yeah. I mean, if someone is unarmed or armed with a knife or something like that, like with the deal with a homie in Philly a couple weeks ago when was having a mental episode with a knife, and they killed him. You could have tased him. What kind of training is that? So what value do you place on life? Because once you pull that trigger, that person most likely is gonna be dead.
Yeah.
I see so much patience with people. The problem is a couple things. First off, they don't believe it. They don't believe it. We're always gaming. And it's crazy because we're the people who have the less in society. So if you have the less in society, what kind of game can we be playing? Because if we're playing it, we must not be good at it because we're losing. Why would you not trust us more? Because if we're so crooked, would we have more? I mean, or is it we're gaming and we're stupid? I don't, as though you take someone, you take a Donald Trump, cat who is gaming, and you'll trust him or people like him who will not just take your lunch money, they'll take your fucking lunch and make sure you don't have enough to get another one. The thing about it is that policing in America has always been about that. It's always about protecting property and protecting, you know, the people who have it, and keeping down the riffraff in the lower classes.
I remember you telling me back in the day, a few months back, back in the 70s, you saying like the Nixon era, they were trying to like, you know, fuck with the hippies in the back at the same time, but just like putting you away from weed, you know.
That's the beginning, the beginning of what do you call it? Whatever, all the politicians, the dog whistle, you know, it's
the whistleblowers.
No, not whistleblowers. It's a dog whistle. Like a way, instead of saying we want to get rid of these fucking hippies and niggas, you say we're about you know, crime and punishment, law and order. That's it. Okay, it's the law and order. So you know, get the hippies and the niggas off the streets, start coming up with laws, and then of course it went warp speed with your boy Ronald Reagan, and with Ronald Reagan, it wasn't just a race thing; it was a class thing. You know, Reaganomics. But still lying to the people they were stealing from, you know, the poor whites they were stealing from, and telling them it was fucking our fault. What do you call it? They call them the welfare queens. You know, after the civil rights, it's always you take one step forward and then it's a hard pushback. So you had the Civil Rights Act. Johnson goes out, Nixon wins. Yeah. You know, I was just watching on Netflix the Chicago trial of 7. When they had the Democratic National Convention, and they had basically the conflict between the Chicago police, and you had all types of activists, and also the Black Panthers, and you know they were. Oh,
really? When was that? Was that set in the late '60s, early '70s? Was it?
Yeah. So when did was that '68? So when Nixon came in, was it '68? I mean, Vietnam was still going. It was anti-war. You know, Vietnam was still going. So I'm thinking '68. Right around my birth, you know, 68, 70. I was born in 70, so I'm just saying elections are every 4 years. Man, I can't even do the math there. So 2008 and 68 be 40 years. So yeah, it'd be 68, right?
Yeah. It'd
be like 68. I mean, tell me out there, everybody out there, let me know if I'm wrong. I don't mind being corrected. Sound off in the comments.
That's right. What discussions here with my main brother, Papa Jobe.
That's right. Woo! C'est la fucking vie!
That's right. We're here philosophizing, chewing the fat, keeping it black, keeping it real.
Always, 100.
Please let us know how we're doing. Like, share, comment.
And subscribe. Sound off. Tell us what we got wrong in the comments, you know.
Exactly.
And tell us also don't be shy to tell us what we got right as well. Show some love for your brothers.
That's right.
And, you know, also let you know that between the two of us, I'm the one that's single.
That's right.
Everybody out there, just, you know, if you want to hit me on the DL.
You could do a lot worse.
Damn, that didn't sound like a compliment.
I'm not going to talk about it.
You can do a lot worse. It's like, oh shit. It's like, I just got COVID. Well, at least it ain't cancer.
I've been out of the market such a long time, mate. I wouldn't know where to start, you know?
Oh, yeah, bro. Yeah.
What was it you were saying the other day? I look great. After having 3 kids, I look great. Oh, you're
looking great. You're looking great. That must be the good water.
Especially after 3 kids.
Oh, man. It's all about that hydration. The hydration. So listen, man. Yes.
Getting back to the good old US of A. What do we got now? We're in November now, so it's about a month and a half before Trump has to leave office, right?
The inauguration is the 20th of January. About the 20th of November is when we have to, you know, basically, they send the votes to the electors, and the electors go to electoral college, and then they tell us officially that, you know, Joe Biden is the president. But now,
I really hope he's going to do a good job. I mean, I hope it just doesn't go down in history as the guy who beat Trump. I hope I hope legacy, you know, especially for the brothers. Actually, sorry to disturb. I was reading this interesting article about the leaders of the Black Lives Matter group have already been in contact with the Biden administration, saying, "Look, you know, we delivered the vote. You got to deliver something for us now. You know, something concrete." Because it was like you were saying a couple of episodes ago, it was the black vote that really flipped it this time. which is a great thing to hear. It's a great uplifting thing to hear that we were part of it. I mean, I didn't vote, but I was there with my psychic energy.
Hey, that's right.
Push it down the right way.
That's right.
A lot of other people were. So, I'm kind of glad that the Black Lives Matter group is, on it and saying, we want to be part of the decisions that you make, especially, about their main priorities, which is obviously police brutality against blacks, and that these cops are held accountable. So that's good that they're on it. But there's a lot of negative comments, man. There's a lot of negativity out there.
If you didn't count the Biden votes, Trump got more votes than anyone in basically the history of U.S. elections. He got 72 million people voted for him after 4 years of what he's been doing. Only thing that beat it is because the record was with Biden. So he only beat the record by beating the record to beat that man. That means that there's 72 million people in the United States of America
who don't give a fuck about black people.
And that's just the people who voted. There are people who maybe couldn't vote and still support the man.
I was listening to Roland Martin the other day.
Yes, my man Roland.
Yeah, he was breaking it down very eloquently, as he always does. And basically, if you vote for Trump, you don't give a fuck about black people.
No.
Your issues, there ain't my problem. You know what I mean? I've got my nice life over here where I'm paying my low taxes, and that's also, I include the black elite in America in that, who didn't vote Democrat. There was and cats like that.
You had Little Pump, another rapper who supported him, Kanye West, who's talking about he might leave the states after Trump lost. I mean, these people for various reasons, they make up, a small percentage of people who do it, and they do it for different reasons. Kanye, he's got issues. 50 Cent is a guy he's a contrarian. He's a bit of a reactionary. He's a troller, and I'm not even sure he believes what he said. He just wants to be heard and be controversial. You don't give a shit who do you really vote for, or did he vote? I don't know. And then of course his whole thing is about the money, and Trump is supposed to be good for the money, which is true for people who are making a certain amount of money. 50 Cent, I don't know if he's making that much. He's not part of the 1%.
Do you think enough black celebrities have come out and spoken about these, the injustices that are still going on?
Yeah. I mean, you got a lot of celebrities in general, a lot of black celebrities. But here's the thing: it's like Dave Chappelle said, we should stop putting these celebrities on pedestals. I'm looking at like Roland Martin, other people who are actually out there doing it. The sister from Missouri who just got to Congress, Cori Bush, who was really who was all on the streets during the Ferguson, who lived on the streets, who was homeless, was a single mother. Deal with that stuff. Yes.
I don't know much about her. You have to send me a link to her.
Yes. Cori Bush. I mean, she's going to Congress. Activists like that. And then, of course, back to your whole Black Lives Matter. Now, Black Lives Matter it's a movement, but it's almost like we call Antifa. It's not like one. You have people who sort of started it, but it's almost like one concentrated.
It isn't, is it? It's not like one single ideology. It's a kind of. Yeah.
Police violence is the number one, because that's in almost every urban area. But then in some urban areas, it can be not just about police violence. It's about gentrification, or it's about education.
Yeah. It's over here. I'm actually going to be signing up to do a mentorship for young black kids, from the ghetto or the nearest thing to it.
Yeah. No, they got shit. They got ghettos in England.
Yeah. No, it's real enough. And even in nice, cozy Cambridge, there's still some places that that need improvement. So it's basically mentoring these young black kids. Some of them have just come out of prison.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them go straight and get an education, and they don't have a black male role model to look up to. So we all had this meeting.
Yeah. In the States, they call it Big Brother.
Yeah. So we had a meeting on Zoom. They're organising this charity. All I have to do is sort of be at the meetings, and I'm not actually an organizer, but I've signed up for this mentorship, which I think is important, because it's not just about saying to white people, "Oh man, the racism's got to stop. We've got to also look inwards to our own community and see what we can do on a grassroots level.
Yeah.
Especially for the young kids. I mean, well, we are as old as we are. You know, we've done what we've done, and you know, God willing, we'll have many, many more years left. But for the younger kids that are coming up, I don't want them to go through what we had to go through, Jobe, man. No way. I don't think it's fair. No. I don't. You know, people have got enough stress as it is in their lives, but to go through, you know.
And also even on a more selfish note, you know, if these kids don't get love and guidance, they're gonna be those same cats that, you know, that may be robbing you, you know, 10 years down the line.
Exactly. You create another generation of, you know.
I got another story for you on that note. So it was this one summer, I'm a teen, and you can't get a job. Getting jobs as a black male teen in the early 80s in Philly, that's a whole different deal. But trying to make some cash, so I had a little job, and these guys fired me on some. I mean, like it was bad, but anyway, it was like a little like sort of construction, like just they were, you know, creating a store, and they just need some, you know, just like help, and I just helped out. But then it was over. But obviously I still needed some money, you know, I was a single mom and all that stuff. So a couple of friends of mine, they were dealing, just the crack era. So they were dealing, and they had just got this house. It was basically like this crackhead, this woman who had a house, and she would let us use the house and also bring clients, and we would just give her, and they would just give her free crack. And I remember, like, I lasted literally a weekend. I can't, you know, the first day, you know, fine. It's just the house is just in disrepair. I'm just basically in the first room. It's a really big house. I'm just in the first room, you know, early trap house basically, and you know, we doing our thing. And I remember she had like a husband, whatever, who was also a crackhead, and he was always in there trying to sell shit to us while in there, you know, try to get some stuff. And we doing it. So I go to that first day, you know, make a little money. And then I remember the second day I go in there, and my boys start explaining to like how shit works out if something happens, you go out the back door, all that stuff. So they take me from the front as we go to the back, to the kitchen, you know, to the alleyway. We go through the dining room, and in the dining room, I bullshit you not, man, there's a crib in the back of the dining room, right near the kitchen. And, you know, I thought it was empty, like just with shit in it, because it was just shit everywhere. I walk by, don't even look at it the first time. Well, it didn't come to me until like later on. I go to the back, and I'm smoking, and I notice there's a fucking baby in this crib, in a dirty diaper, in its own shit, basically. And let me just tell you something. This baby was not asleep, but it wasn't crying. It was just there. You know what I'm saying? I go back and I smoke, and I'm saying to myself, if this baby survives this shit, and that baby's gonna be a killer. You know, because if you're at that age, you don't got even, you've given up crying. As a baby, you're giving up crying. You know, babies, when you know you got 3 kids, babies just shit themselves. They cry all the time. They cry when they're kids. But a baby that's not even crying its own shit and no one's even paying attention to it, that means that baby has given up already. And I said, I can't do this shit. I was like, you know, I was maybe 15. This kid is gonna be, you know, if he survives this, he's gonna be a straight up killer. This might be the kid that kills me 15 years down the road, because he's never gotten any type of affection, love, guidance, or anything. So, brother, respect what you're doing. You know, respect what you're doing, what you're about to do, bro.
Yeah, you were looking down on that pram, and you were thinking to yourself that this baby's even giving up crying. This is as bad as it is.
Just silent. I let me tell you, I'm there that whole day walking back. You know, I didn't even notice. It's just like At some point, I'm like smoking so much weed. I'm like, how? Like, I just go, just kind of.
By the way, when you were smoking, it was weed you were smoking, not crack, yeah?
Yeah. Fuck that, man. Yeah, weed, son. We're smoking Philly. Yeah, we're smoking Philly blunts. Yeah. No. One thing. Even before Biggie, it was the 10 crack commandments. Never get high on your own supply. So yeah, but just to deal with that shit, you had to smoke weed. Because if you didn't smoke weed, it would fucking put a pistol in your mouth. If you have any type of I don't know, moral stuff. Like I said, I lasted a weekend, not even a weekend, 2 days. Yeah. After that, I was like, I'd rather be broke. Try to do something else. It's just I'm not made for that. Because you would have to ignore that shit. I mean, I'm 50 years old right now, but I still remember seeing that baby in that crib, or pram, as they say in England. But that was.
Yeah, it sounds rough, man.
And I can imagine, so many kids. When you think about like all those movies, Menace to Society. That's basically that's what's his name? What's his name? O-Dog. What's his name? I haven't seen Menace in so long. Was it O-Dog? Hey, please, anybody who's seen Menace to Society and watch this, please put in the comments. I think his name was O-Dog, and he was a straight killer. And I was thinking, when I saw that movie, I was like, that is basically with that kid. If he survived, he's gonna be O-Dog, because he ain't gonna give a fuck about nothing. I met some people who truly don't give a fuck are the scariest people to ever encounter, because they don't give a fuck. With all that anger, all that hate, all that, what are you gonna do with it? It's got to come out. It ain't gonna come out.
We're living in a post-slavery world still. We're still getting our heads around it.
A lot of stuff hasn't been addressed, And
it hasn't been addressed yet. And that's what we're trying to do, is address these issues and spread some love.
Yes.
So listen, I've got to skedaddle, mate.
Yes.
I've got to move.
All right. Hey, man. As always.
Thank you so much for listening to International Brother. From another. Like no other. Exactly. We've had a lot of fun. We've learned a lot again, and we'll be back for more.
Always.
Keep on following us, subscribe, like, share, do what you got to do to spread the love. There's only one love.
And remember, sound off in the comments. Let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, what you want to see, what you don't want to see. I'm not saying we're going to do everything that you're telling us, because I will, some of y'all may be straight up assholes, but I will tell you, we're going to check them all out, because every bit of information is good, even when it's not.
Exactly. I'm enjoying what we're doing. I'm learning loads. It's a great way to it's a bit of black therapy,
Yeah. Sound off, Right now in Italy, we got our curfew. It's a ghost town.
Exactly.
Only way I get rid of this anxiousness is to run in the park and play a little ball and talk some shit with my brother from another. So,
all right, man.
That's what's up. Hey, yo, make sure you give your fam all the love. Tell myself what's up.
We'll do. And you take care of yourself. Speak to you again very soon, brother.
That's what's up.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, boy.